It's been a tough day. Suffice it to say, it's been a day of one setback after another, leaving us wondering how we're going to make it through this season. I'd be lying if I said despair wasn't trying to push its way in once more. This has been the case many times over this pandemic season, and I know that I am far from alone. Countless folks are wondering where the needed resources are coming from. Some are mourning greater loss than money. Domestic disputes are up, as is depression and suicide. The uncertainty of this trying season has certainly taken a toll. Uncertainty creates a shaky foundation, making the repelling of such assaults much more difficult and our bastions much more easily compromised. The battering rams of anxiety and despair are indeed formidable breaching tools. In fact, there is only one surefire way to combat them. Even the resolve of the stoutest man will fail in an inevitable weak moment. To combat the uncertainty of this world, we must wield the certainty that is not of this world. Has the Lord not plainly promised this in John 16:33, in saying, I have told you these things, so that in me you may have peace? In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. This temporal pilgrimage can indeed hold its share of despair, but this temporary pilgrimage is just that, temporary. Though crying may last for the night, joy comes in the morning. But this does not mean that we must just sit here in our earthen vessels and receive enemy salvos with impunity. We have not been called to be, but dart traps for the enemy. Through his fellowship and his word, we understand we can actually exercise mastery over our trial and despair. This is not in the sense that we do not feel it, that we do not mourn or hurt. Rather, it means that we can patiently grow thereby if we allow Abba to work through them as he intends and often even ordains. Hebrews 10:35 says this, do not cast away your confidence, which has great reward. For you have need of endurance, that when you have done the will of God, you may obtain the promise. We endure hardship that we may grow thereby, which is among the most primary tenets of sanctification. A tempered saint is a tested saint, and an enduring saint is a consecrated saint. Losing heart is inevitable in a world that remains under the sway of the wicked one, but it should have no place within the household of faith. Indeed, we may wrestle with characteristics contrary to joy, but when we accompany the uncertainty of this world with the certainty of God, the scales cannot help but fall to the side of the supernatural. At present, I know not how this season will conclude, or whether the continued struggle is marked in minutes, months, or millennia. What I do know is that the keeper of my soul does know and has vowed never to leave nor forsake his children in spite of our weaknesses and imperfections. His grace is sufficient for us, for his strength is made perfect in our weakness. Therefore, let us gladly boast in our infirmities, so that Christ's power may rest on us. Therefore, we even take pleasure in our infirmities, in reproaches, in needs, in persecutions, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For in him, when we are weak, we are strong. This season has unfortunately led many to dependence upon things that profit nothing but rather tear down. But I submit to you that this temporal, albeit challenging season has been a call and a shaking to bring more into dependence on him.